Today is Friday, December 20th of 2024. It is Far Out Friday because we're going to be reaching far out into the universe, asking for some update in the Karen Reed case. The CW has, they filed another evidence, something or other. At this point, I pay attention, but I don't pay attention. There are 4 more items. I noticed that Chloe was in. One of the items was identification form. Another one was about Tully. And it's just evidence that we see that are grasping. But you're here. We're here. And it's time for us to, you know the drill. We are now. Welcome everyone. I'm Lady Zelda with Seeing Crime, and today we're going to be asking for the energy. Could be Chloe, could be John, could be Sandra coming in. I have a few theories about Sandra Birchmore and Officer John O'Keefe and some things, but that's another time. Today, Friday, I want to just really see what is coming up. And Officer John, if your energy is here, if you could chime in and let us know. I have the Lima Lenormand deck. I also have a whisper, yes, a whisper of a whisker here. We're going to move it to the side because I don't want to lose it. Cat whiskers are always good. All right. What do you see in the cloth, my darlings? Now, this was my hand, in all fairness. I don't want to set that stage. But I'm just going to give you a second. If you see anything, you know what? I see a face. Let me know if you see that same face. And you know what that means? There are 2 faces in here that I'm seeing, and actually 3. It means that energy is coming through. And you know what? We're going to go with it. Spirits, guides, angels. We're asking for whatever energy can come through, and we're asking to just give us this Friday little update on the Karen Reed case. Thank you. A key. Number 33. This 8 of diamonds. And look at that. That is Officer John. The 9 of hearts. Oh, boy. How do I love that? We're going to put these to the side. We read these in pairs, so we're going to do this. Number 33 and 1. You know what that does. You know what that is, my darlings. 34. It always still gets to me. The key. You see, there's a door, and it's now open. There's key, there's discovery coming. And look, there's a house in the background. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that we could get many more clues. I'm sure we will. But this 8 of diamonds is a card that means that there's progress. I believe there is. We're just going to let the CW roll to the side because you know what? They're not making any progress. I want to hear what the cards say, what John has to say. This 9 of hearts is the yes card. It's the dream fulfilled, the wish come true. It is an acknowledgement of going on the right direction and in the right path, and he is riding through. Look at him. Pretty handsome fellow. Now, before we continue, I am going to say this channel is entertainment purposes only. What I'm going to be sharing with you is my opinion only based on the cards. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a fire professional. I'm just not, I'm not here to give you any of those types of advices. But I'm a tarot profiler. I'm an oracle profiler. I deal with the energy that comes in on these cases, and we're going to see what we can pick up. This is confirmation. This is my opinion, and you are more than welcome to be here and put your opinion in the comments. And if you're new here, welcome. And please do me a favor, subscribe and like this video because it does help me by pushing it out even further into the universe. All right, so now I want to lay out some Kipper cards. Based on what we've got now, I think we've got the energy of John. And we're going to see great fortune, the community. You know, he cares about the community. That's why that card constantly comes up. And there's going to be change and sudden wealth. Putting this to the side. Now, once again, I don't believe that this is money. What I do believe is that this probably is evidence coming from the defense. If John is telling us this, he's certainly not going to take the side of the prosecution and say, oh yeah, they have a wealth of information. No. The information, this sudden wealth of information, is going to cause change in this community. And you, my darlings, and I are going to see this. Let's see. Mythic Tarot. Spirits, guides, angels, now that came over. The Four of Pentacles. That means hold on. That means buckle up, Buttercup. Hold on to your potatoes, ladies and gents. I think we're getting ready to get into a ride. And let's see what the cards have to say. The Tower. Oh, yes. Queen of Swords. That is Judge Canone. Seven of Wands. A disagreement and the Fool. Now, we're going to put these to the side. The Tower card, look at this. Neptune, in all his infinite wisdom, is watching this tower be stricken to the bottom of the ocean. It's on very shaky ground. In the storm of life, we're going to start seeing the CW's case start tanking. There's some things that are going to be coming out about Judge Canone. This is also a card of karma. What comes around goes around. Watch what you wish for. You're going to get it. That type of thing. Whom I believe, in her own judgment, in my opinion, has caused more discord than anything else. Evidence that should be in, she has not allowed. Evidence that should not be allowed in, I think she has allowed. As in inverted video, not saying a word about it. Any other judge would have thrown these people into the pokey because not only, some things we don't think about, not only does the CW try to deceive, in my opinion, allegedly, the jury, the spectators, but they're trying to deceive, in my opinion, the court. How do I come to that opinion? Well, we see that in these emails. We see it into the text messages with witnesses. We see it in the email from Morrissey talking to another judge about how he's disappointed that there's not this or that or the other thing, and oh my. So it's all a manipulation. It's all discord, causing a distraction to cover up a distraction. You see? This all started with them, in my opinion, swapping out suspects, SOS. So the next time you see in a case where somebody puts an SOS, well, that's what this is. You swap out suspects. You swap out because you had one plan for this, and then basically you have to just think on your feet. Didn't work out the way you think. But Officer John is here. on his noble steed, telling us what he feels is coming. And not only does and will the CW look like a fool, they will have to start over. This is the do-over. This is supposedly the second trial of Karen Read. There will not be a third. By May, it is my prediction that this will be over, and in March, there will be a significant something or other come. This Fool card also can mean wiping the slate clean. You can believe what you will on that. Okay, so there's some other things coming up here, and there is a plan. Yes. These cards stick together. Detective and law enforcement. A man. This is getting interesting, isn't it? I'm careful because these cards do stick together. Falsehood or being lied to. Gee whiz, do we need anything more to show us what happened? John's energy is telling us there was a plan. And it involved this. In the opinion of the card, this person was a man. And it's false. And we're being lied to. Let's take out one more card. And then we're going to check what's on the bottom of the deck. Time is needed. You see, I got to tell you this. I agree. I have so many people, and I feel for you if you're watching this and saying, oh, but yes, this is just so nerve-wracking. I just wish they would come in, and I just wish them would take everybody. Look, there has to be a plan. When the feds get involved, it is methodical. It is quiet. It is silence is golden. You don't hear. It's just one day. It pops out of the blue. They're very good. And if you want to call them a secret society, well, you possibly could, because they hold the most secrets going. And I'm sure that Josh Levy has a few little things up his sleeve. Now, I want to look at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to shuffle it again. We're going to cut the cards, and I just want to look at the bottom of the deck. Missing information. The key to unlock information. And look, what do we have here, my darlings? Is this giving you chills yet? Because it should. It should. Look, I'm going to explain a lot of things. In these particular cases, now in Karen's case, it's not true. In Sandra Birchmore's case, it's not true because it's a different type of case. But in the case of, let's just say, Jean-Benet Ramsey, you have many people stepping forward and saying, I did it, I did it, I did it. And, of course, evidence doesn't match, DNA doesn't match, timelines don't match, but these people want the recognition. And sometimes it's people that just need to have a home, a roof over their head, and to be fed. And they would rather take a conviction to have that. You see what I mean? But there's a common denominator in that type of case, and in the case of Sandra Birchmore, and especially Karen Read. And that common denominator is that we don't know everything. And there's a reason. I'm sure that Karen knows. I'm sure that her team, the Fantastic Four, and all those wonderful assistants that they have from Boston University and elsewhere. And I'm sure that even the CW knows a little bit of it. But I'm positive that the feds have a little bit of something that, well, nobody knows about. Except, are you ready? Come closer. Nobody knows except the killer or killers themselves. The reason they do that is because when those people are finally caught and held accountable, they can match evidence, and no longer will there be information that is missing. So you see, this is why it takes so long, because there is some information that they will make sure that everyone knows, and then there's some that they're just going to hold back. Why? Because, well, they also have a plan. Just like this law enforcement person, detective, that was a man. And they came up with these falsehoods and these lies. Don't you think that's interesting? So I'm going to invite you, my darlings, to be patient, because believe me, time is on Karen's side. You see this? You see this right here? What that says? Time is needed, because if they would have rushed right in like a house of fire and taken people out, guess what? That's how you miss things. When you're in a rush and you're doing something and you're not methodical and you're covering all bases, well, then you miss it. They don't want to miss a thing. And I also have another theory. Let's just hypothetically say, what if John was a federal witness? Now that opens up a little bit of interesting subjects, doesn't it? What if, because you know he investigated some other things, what if he technically could be a federal witness, because technically that's what Sandra Birchmore was. She was considered a federal witness, and that's why the Fed stepped in and arrested Matthew Farwell. So if he is a federal witness, well, they could do a lot more, but I'm going to tell you, they are really not there for the Karen Reed case. They are there for the corruption. And the Karen Reed case will benefit by what the feds will end up doing. That's what will happen. Stay calm. Stay true. Okay? Because the feds have invested a lot of time and a lot of money. It doesn't, people don't realize that how much these resources cost. Just look at how much this retrial is going to cost the state of Massachusetts, onwards and upwards of $1.5 million and up, and not to count all the money that Karen has paid for her defense. None of this is free. So they've spent a ton of money with these investigations. And believe me, they're going to be spending a ton more because they want to get to the bottom of it. This means the two sevens coming together. They're both black cards. One is very bad. This 7 of spades is a card in which I'm just going to say, means crippling fear. And if you think that these bad actors are not experiencing crippling fear, my darlings, they most certainly are. Because they're getting closer and closer. The walls are closing in. That's the Christmas gift from the feds to all of them. And look at this. We have 2 5s and 2 7s. The 5s are all the decisions. How much time will they invest? How much more do they feel that they're going to need before they start making their move? Oh, believe me, every time they think they're going to make a move, something more comes out, just like Meatball Morrissey. And I got to say this, I'm sure the feds already know. I'm sure the feds already know what has been on Karen's phones, even Turtle Boy Doc Aiden's phones. I'm sure they already know. What we're doing is we're just going through all this protocol. Discovery. We're doing it the right way. That takes time. But this card I'm especially interested in because this is a card that basically says it is such crippling fear. You see that symbol in the middle that is reversed or upside down? That basically just says this is not where it's an imagination. You know how you can imagine a particular situation and that causes fear within. Oh, no. They know the fear already. You know why? Because this card basically means that they're looking at the situation from the outside in, they're looking from the inside out, and they're looking at both sides. That's why it's crippling fear and anxiety. And if you think not, it is those kids that are going to be feeling that. With this particular card here, my darlings, the Three of Diamonds, that is a business card. It is a legal card, and it means we're going to be learning a lot more because there's a lot more stuff that's going to be coming out. And it's more than a learning curve. But guess what it also means? It means there is a change in this situation. What is the change in the situation? Well, my darling, that is a government card. And it means to settle in the government. It can actually mean government money, but in this case it doesn't. It's a settlement of government, and it means also that it is a huge, astronomical win, and it will be for Karen's side. That is the card. This Nine of Spades is also extremely negative because they are worried. And why am I saying that this is for the CW? Because John's energy already gave us this whole plan. He gave us the plan. He gave us the outline. He showed us that there's keys. He showed that there's missing information. And it wouldn't surprise me of when that Lexus SUV inform information, there will be something missing. Perhaps, sorta, kinda, allegedly, supposedly, from the CW's expert. Now, I don't know. I don't have the fact, but it would not surprise me. Keep an eye out for that. But this card is not about, oh, I'm just worried. I don't want to cross the street today. No. This card is, oh, crap. I'm scared to get out of my home. Oh, crap. Between these two cards, the fear, the crippling worries of, I can't sleep at night. I'm going to go to bed with white underclothes, white socks, because they'll come at me in the middle of the night, and I better be prepared. That's those cards. Something that I definitely look forward to, and let me say this. I'm going to turn this over. And it doesn't surprise me, my darlings, because you know what this card is. It means you can't trust these people. You can't trust the individuals. Why? This card means that They have been not the bad actors. The bad actors are trying to swindle those who are looking for truth and justice. They are people. It means that you can't trust these people. We know this already, but that's based on the meaning of this card. It also means, for those of you who are now watching for the first time, this is a card even back in the Renaissance times, 14th, 15th century, when these cards were very popular in divination. This was said to be the devil's bedpost because it looks like from the top down looking on a canopy bed. This is not a good card at all. And it also means that this lack of trust comes from the past. My darlings, you can look at each other and say Merry Christmas, because these jokers have a lot that they're going to have to. I mean, think about this. This is the proverbial can of worms. You have all these people involved, plus you have the corruption, in my opinion, allegedly, supposedly, within the government offices, and I mean of Canton, Dedham, Stoughton. Thank God. Thank God. Karen, if it had to be anyone, thank God it was Karen. And I hate to say that, but Karen has the guts. She's not going to fold, and thank God she's had the money. Don't worry about her. I think be concerned. And I'm going to say donate if you can. Even 50 cents and $1 helps. And so well appreciated. But do this. Know that there's a divine presence over this case because of one man who was wrongfully taken from this earth. In my opinion, by a plan made up of falsehoods, lies, but they screwed up. And he's telling us that there is definitely a key that will unlock this. So if you hear the words in the next 4 days regarding Karen Reed, unlock, you know that's coming from this energy. Thanks so much, everyone. I really appreciate it. I'm leaving links in the description so you can shop and get a reading with me if you like. And also, if you'll please do me a favor and thumbs up before you leave. And you know I love you. I have so much confidence in Josh Levy and in the Reed family and in Karen and in the defense team. I don't want her to go through this. But we got some heavy duty energy here. She's going to be okay. Thanks again, my darlings. I'll see you soon, you know that. Bye for now.